Today, just happy to report that we've arrested 5 persons, 4 males and 1 female, as a result of execution of search warrants 5 yesterday and 2 today, in connection to an ongoing sophisticated car rebirthing network operating throughout Sydney. In relation to the warrants yesterday, there were search warrants executed in the Ponds, Hornsby, Yagoona, Ermington and Dundas, and today 2 further search warrants, one in Harris Park and a second one at West Lee. As a result of those warrants, police were able to recover 4 stolen motor vehicles, 3 vessels, approximately $270,000 in cash, a large quantity of cocaine drug, a number of other electronic equipment, some clothing related to our investigations. At the present time, the investigations are still continuing. We expect to make further arrests in the coming weeks. There'll probably be further search warrants. The person's in custody now. They're probably looking at further charges to be laid as investigations continue.
Car rebirthing, what does that mean for us?
Okay, car rebirthing. So basically what it involves is the re-identifying of a stolen vehicle using vehicle identifiers from a legitimate vehicle. So there's a number of different methods or ways about doing that. And generally speaking, there is a donor vehicle. You remove those identifiers from that vehicle that have been placed on the vehicle by the manufacturer onto the stolen vehicle. The donor vehicle then is disposed of.
And I understand there's a new process, they're cloning vehicles. Can you explain the difference with that?
Okay, cloning is another form of motor vehicle rebirthing. The difference being there is what happens, the stolen vehicle, the identifiers used for that vehicle to change its identity to legitimise that vehicle come from a currently registered vehicle. Normally, and in case of investigations we've conducted, vehicle identifiers, including registration numbers, the vehicle's compliance label and bill plates from the manufacturer are sourced externally from interstate vehicles. Normally those vehicles are advertised on carsales.com, for example. People involved in this particular investigation, they've sourced those identifiers. They've had them manufactured from a number of different sources. Then once they steal the vehicle, they're trying to match the vehicle by the same colour, same model, same year make. Then they put those identifiers on the vehicle whilst the original vehicle, registered vehicle, remains registered in another state. So the owner of that vehicle is unaware that the details have been cloned to a vehicle that will be running around in New South Wales, for example. So it'll have Victorian plates on the car, for example.
And if we're dumbing it down, what does it enable these groups to do?
Well, for what we've seen in our investigations, they're able to, and they've targeted a lot of higher-ended vehicles, Mercedes G-Wagons, AMGs, Audis, even Subarus, a lot of higher-end four-wheel drives as Land Cruisers. They're able to steal those vehicles. When they re-identify it, they normally on-sell the car. In some cases with a full rebirthing, they'll sell them to members of the public who will pay extensive amount of money for those vehicles, so they'll obviously be out of pocket. And then the other cars which have been re-identified as a clone vehicle, a lot of times will end up being sold within organised crime networks themselves, sometimes to unsuspecting people. The biggest difference with the cloning is on generally the main vehicle identifying number, so the VIN number on the vehicle has not been interfered with, as opposed to a full rebirth where they've removed that or interfered with it some way, the same as with the engine number.
So there's a chance that there's some people who've bought a second car that started off being stolen?
Correct, that's right.
How do police go about tracking these things down if all these efforts are made to conceal that these cars were stolen in the first place?
Sometimes those vehicles become identified through, say, RMS, when people take vehicles in to be inspected. Other occasions, for example, with the clone vehicle, a person may try and change registration of a vehicle, and they'll say the clone vehicle, when that changes registration, it'll affect the vehicle in another state, saying it's been cancelled to a new state. And so it's picked up that way. Other times it's information. On our case, when we started working on the individuals that we were targeting, through their activities, we were able to identify a number of vehicles.
What recourse is available to someone that has this happen to them? I mean, what can they do if they find that the car that they've bought off carsales.com, etc., is dodgy?
It depends. If the vehicle is bought in New South Wales from a legitimate motor vehicle dealer, there's recourses through legislation under the Motor Dealers and Repairers Act and through fair trading for people to get money. But private sales, that's a problem. So it's a bit of buyer beware there. But there are some simple things individuals can do to try and lessen that potential of purchasing a vehicle which may be rebirthed.
The people that have been arrested and charged, how high up do police believe they are within this operation?
Okay, so we've definitely arrested the main architect of this syndicate. That individual has coordinated a lot of the activities, and to date we've recovered more than 25 vehicles related to those activities that he has orchestrated. So he's a top, and then probably the two next lieutenants underneath in that syndicate involved in acquiring other types of identifiers or stealing the motor vehicles as well. They've also been arrested and charged. There are a number of other individuals lower down the pecking order too that we have arrested or we're going to arrest.
So what can you tell us about those people or types of people? Do they have a front of some sort? What are they doing in their day-to-day? Are they in the motor vehicle industry?
Some have some related interest in the motor vehicle industry. Those individuals, they've been involved in the repairing of motor vehicles in the past, and they are known to police involved in this type of activity in the past as well.
Should people who recently bought it, what kind of area were they buying and reselling in Sydney? Are there people that are living in a particular area that may?
No, it's across Sydney because now everything is advertised electronically, so people from around Sydney, around New South Wales, whatever the case may be, make bids on cars, same as people make bids on cars in New South Wales that are advertised interstate. So there's no any particular area that they've targeted at all. It's up to individuals. But like I said, many of these vehicles were sold to other organised crime individuals as well, or we've intercepted prior to them being on sold.
Thank you.
Okay.